Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Tracy Schreier here. So I want to walk you through some of the ways that I might use generative AI to help with a job search or to help gather some insight and information. So you can see on the screen, I have tabs open for ChatGPT, which is shown on the screen. I have Claude open. I do have the $20 paid version of ChatGPT. I turned off my paid version of Claude. I was not using it enough, but it does give some different information and insight. So you have to decide which one you might want to use or if you want to pay for any of them. I also have Manus open, and Manus is another tool, and this is a paid tool that you could use as well. It's a monthly subscription or an annual subscription. I really like Manus specifically for helping to create websites, helping to create slide decks, sometimes reports, different things like that. It just gives me a lot more depth and a different kind of depth of information. So I want to be able to show you each of these three and some of the things that we might look at. So I may have somebody come to me. I'm just going to throw out a random example. I'm going to take the example of a product manager, and I'm going to take this in financial services because I know a lot of friends I have in financial services ended up getting laid off. So if we say, I'm going to start in ChatGPT and say, I have a 20 plus year, I'm going to actually say 20, we'll do 20 plus year experience in financial services industry with the last 10 as a product manager. Can you help me identify roles in the, I'm going to say Columbus, Ohio, can't spell very well, Ohio metropolitan area. Also, ask me any questions that will help you in locating roles or companies that may be of interest. I'd like to set up a top 10 to 12 company list that I can keep my eye on and open to what filters to set up in a LinkedIn jobs alert, as well as any other job search website you recommend. For example, Indeed, Dice, Simply Hired, etc. My goal is to make, I'm going to say, 140,000. I don't know if that's too high for a product manager. Actually, let's do this first. What is the typical salary range for a product manager in this area and industry? Would it be smart to look at other industries as well for this type of role? I know even in like insurance, there's so many different with technology that would have this. So let's start with this one. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste it in so you can see in Claude what it looks like, and then also in Manus what it looks like. So we can see here and this is always good to do a comparison, not on every single thing that you're putting into the tool, but to give you an idea of what it's going to bring back. So chat is basically saying you're in a strong position in the Columbus market with your time remains one of the largest financial services hubs in the Midwest. Banking, insurance, payments, fintech. What I suggest for not limiting yourself to only product manager roles. So thinking about these different names and titles as well. So not just saying product manager because you may leave yourself out from some of these. And some companies name these very differently. So you can't be guaranteed that it's always going to be called that. And then some of these you can see where it says payments, product manager, platform product manager. But some don't have, like product owner is different. Director of product. It depends on your experience too. So you can take a look at that. Top 12 companies to watch in the area. First one is most aligned to your background. So this is basically saying Huntington, JP Morgan Chase, Bread Financial, Nationwide, and Root Insurance. So it's not telling me that they have these positions available. It's saying these are companies you might want to keep on your list as the top ones you would look at. And then after that, to go for 10, and I like how they divided this up into these tiers: adjacent financial services, and then tier 3 are non-financial services. Companies often hire product managers. So there's some examples. Should you look outside financial services? Absolutely. That would be my recommendation as well. And then it gives you different industries. And then here's different companies that operate within the Ohio area. So these skills transfer surprisingly well. So you have some idea of what you could put on your resume even. Salary expectations for these types of roles. So I was high when I said 140 maybe. Product manager, 105 to 135. Financial services and fintech generally pay towards the upper end of those ranges. And then here are some of the other things that they include. So then it tells me for LinkedIn, here are, you could create multiple alerts, and then you get emails when these come in. So it's basically saying you could do your Boolean operator, senior product manager in quotes, or lead product manager or principal product manager. You would change the filters to the location, also being open to hybrid or remote, which is another filter in there. A second alert you could set up is using these keywords. You could look at leadership roles if you're interested in those, or financial services focus. As you go down in these alerts, it gets farther and farther away from the more detailed, which I typically recommend that maybe you start out bigger, the ocean. But my bigger, I would even say, is more like alert number 2. Here are some of the strategy type of roles. And then you get down to the lake or the pond and you get more specific. The problem with going more specific first is that you can filter out some things that you're not thinking of, or titles maybe that you're not putting in here specifically. So I would definitely make sure that you're keeping your eye and the pulse on that. Other sites they'd use, highest priority would be LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor. I don't know what it is about Indeed, but I do not care for Indeed for professional jobs like this. Simply Hired is related somehow to Indeed, and that is a little bit better. Search and see what you like and see if you want to set up alerts. The other thing that I would say with your alerts is to make sure that you're putting posted within 24 hours or posted within 1 week. The early bird does get the worm. The sooner that you post once something comes out, the more likely, if you're qualified and that there's not too much at that time coming in, that you will be looked at pretty quickly. Product specific. So here's some other ones. There are so many different job search engines, and there's not one that covers everything, unfortunately. LinkedIn does cover a ton of jobs. Companies, most of the time, I believe, I've not been on this side of it, but they would pay for that. So close this out here. So they would pay for that. So check out those, see what you find. Dice, I've seen for a lot of tech jobs. They have a lot in there. And so it's asking, well, what's your current compensation target? Are you open to 3 days a week in the office? Do you prefer remote? What are some of the things that you enjoy? Would you consider director, or do you want to stay individual contributor? Are there specific domains? So cards, lending, deposits, payments, fraud, insurance. And based on those, they can help you to get a more targeted company. So let's go over to our friend. Oh, they didn't even start here. So our friend Claude. So what type of product management work has been your primary focus? So I'm going to say digital. Let's see. And you could skip these two. I'm going to say, let's say hybrid. Are you targeting a lateral? I'm going to say lateral. So based on those, that's what the information that you get. So you can see the salary ranges here, 120 to 155. So those are a bit higher. It shows you the median is, I think 135 was the highest for our other one. So it can vary. With 10 years, this says it put you 165 to 200. I have not gone through for product manager. The medium is 138, so you can kind of see what you find there. Let's see. JP Morgan, Huntington, Nationwide, Breadfruit, Financial, Root Insurance. So you can see these are very similar in who they're naming. Should you look beyond? Yes. And then it gives you, here's these tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 for the different job search engines. Alerts that you can set up. This is saying location, industry, experience. Be cautious of going industry and experience. because I don't want you to cut yourself off from things. Yes, I get location if it's something where you would go into the office, but industry and experience, be open to what that could be. If you want to filter more on experience later on, go ahead, but not initially. And then company size, some people prefer to be in like a small or a large company. I would leave that off too. I would be open to what that could be for you because you're closing yourself down a lot with that. So this says what? Okay, so this already asked us. Oh, so this creates based on the answers that I provided it. What are some of those areas? So if we go over to Manus, Manus said, I'll search this. So it asked me, look at these 7 questions. I kind of like Claude how it gave me the options. So what I would recommend here is that you copy these. This is if you're using something like Manus. You can paste them in, and then you can kind of go in and start to answer them. Let me say individual. Open it. I'll say likely digital because that's what we put in before. Would prefer remote or hybrid, but open. Floor. Let me say 135 here. This is the floor. Are there industries you should prefer? I want to say open. Let's say open. Do you currently have product ownership over customer facing? Yes. Oh, in my last role, I did it for a. Okay, so we'll plug in the answers to those questions. It's a little bit different, just the technique that the AI uses. So this is going to take a little bit of time. It takes some time thinking, going through, and it shows you where it's at. I want to show you the results that came in Manus. So this says, I prepared a tailored Columbus area product management job search based on your preferences, senior individual contributor roles, digital product ownership, remote or hybrid flexibility, 135,000 floor, and openness to adjacent industries. Please open the attached markdown file. So with these, what I typically do is you can click on, you can download it, and then if you want to download it with this, you probably don't make any kind of changes. So I download it as a PDF. Wait, you can see it better too. Yeah. If we look here, it gives us this information, given your background, particularly good market, realistic. So it tells you pricing wise, best target, should not be limited to traditional banks. I'm actually going to open up a PDF that I created. This might be a little bit better here. So it's telling us JP Morgan Chase, Huntington, Brett. So we can see a lot of those are the same. 135,000 is realistic. Recommended role positioning. It tells me recommended roles, company type. So let's just put everything into a nice document. These are salary ranges that are pulled from different places. So you can kind of see what that might look like. A lot of it's going to depend on the company. Recommended salary stamp. Top 12 company watch list. Gives you information on each of the companies. All of these. Industries beyond financial services, insurance, health, retail, e-commerce, logistics, supply chain, enterprise SaaS, AI. Recommended LinkedIn job filter. So this gives you an idea of how to set those up. Recommended job boards and how to use. So this built in is another one that keeps coming up. Company career pages. So if you have your top 10, top 12 list, you can make sure that you're visiting those places. DICE is a good one for type roles. Some other ones that we found here. A resume and profile adjustments to improve your batch quality. So this gives you a lot of information. Practical 30-day search plan. So you can see how much more detail and recommendations. Gives you a list of your references. So it gives you a lot of detail based on that one prompt that we put in. And again, this is a monthly paid. I don't believe you can do anything for free in there. So we got information from each of these. They told us similar information, maybe in a little bit different ways, and they asked questions to get to what that meant. So just wanted to walk through what that looked like. If you are looking for additional support as you're looking for what your next role might be, I encourage you to join us within the Compass community. You can visit careercompossusa.com, and there's a banner on there that takes you into join the Compass community, completely free. We have monthly trainings, we have monthly Q&As, a lot of different information within the community itself, as well as access to the Career Resource Vault, which goes through my 4C framework and provides you resources, templates, video, all kinds of different support. And again, it's careercompassusa.com. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.